feel like I gotta get my like. I'm gonna be talking a lot over the next couple of weeks.
Just about every day. Make sure you don't.
All right. Don't really have anything for you, so go ahead.
Mike, it's another Victory Monday. You have said the process stays the same. Does anything about this Victory Monday feel or look different for you?
Well, I think that's part of the message this week with the guys is there's going to be a lot that's under our control that we can keep it within our process, but there's going to be some things that are going to be different, and that's okay. But the things that is going to stay the same is like our approach to every day and like what the intent of the day or the walkthrough or whatever we're trying to achieve that day is. So today's kind of one of those things like where you got to go over some logistics, which is some exciting stuff, but it's also something that we want to get out ahead of. So when it's time for football, we can be focused on football.
What does this week look like for you guys schedule-wise?
The guys are going to be off. Well, they're in today for some logistic stuff. We just kind of put last night's game to bed. Got the food trucks out there, which is exciting. Off for a couple days, and then we'll start like a normal week cadence on Thursday. I believe we're traveling on Sunday. So.
And it seems like with Super Bowl coaches, there's different schools of thought about like how much of the game plan you want to give
Yeah.
that first week before
Yeah.
you take off. What's your
We're working through that. Definitely different schools of thought, to your point. I'm talking to some folks today, talking to our coordinators on how we want to operate. We're still working through how exactly we want to do it. And frankly, I think it's going to be something that we're going to navigate as these 2 weeks kind of present itself too. So, but the bulk of the work will be happen this week, and then we'll go from there.
Are you going to consult with John Harbaugh on how he did Super Bowls?
I haven't talked to John yet, but at some point I probably will. Yeah.
What kind of, when you went back and watched the tape of it, what's something that kind of caught your eye and made you kind of, when you saw it from above, kind of made you stand out to you?
I just think the way our guys play is just proud of our effort and how we play. Just really you can kind of go through each position group, each guy, and point to plays where, maybe as insignificant as it seemed in that moment, how it played into the bigger picture, and that's really cool. It just shows you the power of like the collective effort that the guys had. So, really proud of their effort.
Have you had the fourth down play from the end zone carrying over the picture shaking quite a bit?
Oh yeah.
You talked a lot over these weeks of like, it's like playing this game, but
It was electric, and I mean, even after during the celebration, I don't think anybody left. The whole stadium was still packed, just cheering for everybody. It was just an incredible showing by the 12s.
Have you had any time you have to look at New England or anything like that?
I think I've watched like 5 plays.
You said this morning out of Sunday, there had been a crossover tape in your stage this year.
Right.
Have you come across that before, or like you just end up with it toward the end and you need to have a single?
Well, no, because normally, the way the schedule is, at some point, everyone's kind of mix and match the same way where you're end up playing like common opponents throughout the year. So, and even in the playoffs, it might happen to you where you're playing another division that you weren't like matched with. So this one, this is kind of unique from my experience at least. But you're only talking about 10 to 12 years here.
You said, I think last week that you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't have the participation during OTAs and minicamp
Yeah.
that you did. Why do you think you had that kind of participation?
Well, I think it's a tribute to our guys. I mean, it was something that, like, at this point last year, as we were finishing up the season, I think the buy-in of, like, understanding of what we were trying to achieve was there, and the guys were excited about it. You know, I felt like maybe towards the last part of the season they started to feel like what we could build and the possibility of doing it, and so maybe like the initial intention was there, and then really it's a team effort, coaches included, you know, strength staff included. Once they're in the building, creating an environment where they feel like they can really, you know, take it to the next level. And I mean, I think offensively we might have been 100% dang near every day, which is awesome, especially with the new staff. So it's really incredible.
You talked about Sam a lot in the game, obviously, but in particular, some of the throws he's making under pressure. That's the team that creates pressure in pass games.
Yeah.
Hit those touchdowns, do what he did everywhere else.
Yeah, those are great plays, all-time great plays. Standing in there and trusting the timing of the play and letting it rip. So it's pretty awesome.
What do you think? I think Kenneth Walker, like, the numbers don't look that impressive, but so he had a lot of good runs.
He had a lot of great runs. He really did, and a lot of hidden talk about hidden yardage within that game, and he's responsible for a lot of those hidden yards. So I mean, I'd like to block him a little bit better at points, but when you have a guy like K9, he can make it right for you. So that was awesome.
He can occasionally have a run go backward because he tries to make a little bit more. But when he's able to turn that play into a touchdown, where he's able to make the spades miss in the middle of the field,
Yeah, I think it's a similar message that we have with the rest of our players. Like, I'm thinking like with Sam as well. It's just, hey, like, go be decisive, you know, and then let's go fix it from there. And I think you've seen Ken's game go to the next level throughout the course of the season. And again, if you change up your messaging on him and you say, hey, like, you have to run it like this all the time, but you don't get some of those runs that his natural ability takes over. So there's a balance there, and it's kind of like the secret sweet spot that you're searching for a guy like him.
What would you think that George is the backup and Cam kind of being behind him? What do you think of that?
Oh, it was remarkable. I mean, he hasn't played in how many weeks? And normally when you guy coming off of IR, they need some time to get ready to go. But tribute to him and our training staff for having him in shape, and just shows you just got to stay ready, man. All 70 guys need everybody. You never know what's going to happen, and you know, when the opportunity presents itself and you're ready, it's something great can happen.
What are some of the unique logistical challenges of moving your whole operation to practice somewhere else? Is it similar to the joint practices that give you a little bit of an idea?
A little bit. Right now, I was kind of just looking at it big picture. It feels like it's more of what it would feel like when we play like overseas. You know, you're taking servers, and there's a lot of video. You know, there's a lot of logistical stuff that's going, technical stuff that a lot of people have to put in a lot of work to make it happen. But you know, we trust what's awesome is, like, we don't have to worry. I mean, we just kind of show up and do our job. Everybody else does a great job of kind of setting the table for us.
As you know it so far, what do you see as a big challenge for you, for your players? Anything
I think it's, you know, it's easy to say process, but the days are going to look a little bit different. So it's really the intent behind what we're trying to do every day, and just staying focused on the things that we can control, because there is so much extra, you know, and that comes with the territory. So it's exciting. It's an opportunity to kind of make it, you know, to get it right. And I trust our guys are going to be great. You know, they know that we got one goal in mind. Let's go make it happen.
Mike, do you have any early sense on whether Sam's going to be able to do more in practice over the next couple of weeks?
I honestly don't. I don't know what the trajectory is with how many reps he's going to need or how much he's going to want to take. So I don't know that yet.
And then how did Charles come out of the game?
To my knowledge, he's good. It's just still sore. Oh, it's just game breaker. I don't know what his stats were, but he felt like he affected the game dang near every play. So tremendous. All three levels. You know, sparking the offense at the end of the half was huge. Obviously, going up big in the red zone. Yeah, a great game.
Brady Russell, any more on
He's got a hand right now, so we'll just kind of work through it on what the timing is and what we need to do.
Do you think Robbie has a chance to make it back for this one?
We hope so. Yeah, just, you know, it's got to calm down so we can have a better feel for how it's gonna look. But I'm not sure what his practice status is going to be this week. I'm not sure.
Speaking of Robbie, though, when you had to adapt without him in the lineup there, how did you feel like you kind of worked around that absence and some of the things you did to
Yeah, well, I thought our tight ends played really well. Eric Sauber had a great game. A.J. Barner, Nick Collar had some good plays. So we're able to work around it. So it's the benefit of having those type of bodies that can play on special teams, and Brady was able to fill a role as well at fullback. So just something that you have to work through.
How's Drake Thomas?
Good. Again, don't know the extent of practice availability and all that, but it's just a shoulder right now. Well, I think that's one of the reasons we made him captain last week. It's just this guy is he's kind of like the heartbeat of our team to a certain extent, especially on defense. I mean, definitely an emotional leader. Sets a tone every day. When you have a guy that's been around for that long and he operates the way he does, and just sets a great example for the rest of the team, So, really happy for him for what he's been able to put our team in the position.
You say set the tone.
It's kind of like set your intention. Like what are we trying to do? It's kind of like what Ernest does. It's just there's a certain attention to detail, physicality, the method about how we want to operate. He brings that every day, and when you have a guy with his stature that has that, it's contagious.
Nick had the 3 pass breakups last time. What do you think of his game?
I'm broken record, but I thought Nick had a great game. I think that the difference between this game and San Francisco is, I think he handled his kind of emotional sweet spot better. He was in more of like an operative mode and just played great football. And really affected the game. And if we don't have those pass breakups, I think there's a different outcome to the game.
Is there clarity? Oh, sorry, John. Go ahead.
You got a lot of your veteran players on the team, and Marcus, and never been to this stage. Just as a coach, to be able to see all these guys who have these great careers.
Yeah.
Have this moment.
Well, it's great. I mean, and it's awesome, but it also means that we got work to do. And I think one of the differences about how we've ran our program this year and the last 2 years is like we don't have hey, this is the Super Bowl handbook. This is how you handle all the things. It's our mentality is hey, look, we're all in this together and going into this experience, and this is how we want to take it day by day and kind of get through all these hurdles, so to speak. And those guys will be right along there for the ride and leading the charge. So that's how we're going to handle it.
It was kind of a rough game in moments for all 3 of your cornerbacks last night. For them to ultimately come back on that final drive and cover up on those last 2 plays, including the breakups by Devin, how critical was that for you guys there for them to still hold on to that?
Yeah, I think it's just that's the byproduct of the inputs you put in. You face some adversity early in the game, but you just stick to it, and you trust that. If you just keep stacking plays over and over again, you give yourself a chance. So, the plays by Spoon in the red zone were just, some of the best plays in, our team history probably. I mean, it's just including the circumstances. So it's awesome.
Do you have any more clarity on your assistant coaches and their job prospects past this season?
No, I don't. Couple like opportunities have been filled to my knowledge, but nothing like finalized.
We'll talk about integrity is important for this team. How did that show up, like after week 1, and then the players talk, and then they refocus and get back in the game?
Yeah. How we define integrity is just doing the things that you say you're going to do and do that consistently. So, and don't let those. I mean, if you don't let the outcome affect how you're going to operate, you can operate that way. And so when you do work through those things in adverse times, I think that really shows what you're made of, and our guys prove that time and time again.
Steadfast is another word you've been using.
Yeah.
How does that show up, and why is that important in your program?
Yeah, you could say like relentless, right? Just that's part of what we want to be our play style. And how can you not? How could you just like you're gonna step off the gas for what? Like you're gonna stop, chasing a vision or how you want to play, or stop, training, or stop, coaching your guys. Like that makes no sense. Why would you operate that way?
Jake Bobo has only had a couple catches for you last season, but the biggest one up there, he comes up with a big
Oh, yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah.
He seems like he's been like kind of heartbeat guy for you guys in the locker room anyway. Despite that, what kind of impression does that make on you that he's able to make that play in the moment and hang with you all the time?
I think you're just really happy for him. I'm not surprised. That's Jake Bobo. You know, that's the guy that we know, we love. To your point, I mean, you know, I think a couple weeks ago he was a captain, and shows you like the respect that he carries throughout the team and how much we appreciate him and how much we respect him. So for him to make a play in that setting, yeah, I mean, I think you're just fired up for the guy. You know, you're just really happy for him.
Areas you said Witherspoon's breakups are some of the best plays in the toughest. You mean mistakes? What he did physically, mentally, reading that?
I think just concerning like the situation and what got us to that point and what was required, you know, especially the last play. I mean, the play shouldn't be lasting that long. And talk about relentlessness, you know, like I'm thinking if I'm in that type of coverage, I don't have to, you know, cover for, you know, X amount of time, and now all of a sudden it extends and it's like there's no blink, you know, he's just competing, and he did that the whole game, and that's who he is.
He said he thought that was going to be. He said it was a 7 route for the tight end earlier in the same situation. That's what he knew was going to be a breaking route. Is that him, or is that something you guys told?
Oh no, that's him. Yeah.
Any areas
Last
coaching
question. You're looking to emphasize defensively, or the Rams game is just outliers because they're the Rams?
No, there's look. It's a football game. We're gonna go work what happened. We're gonna take some things out of it that I thought our guys did really well that maybe we can build off of, and there's gonna be some things that we need to get cleaned up. So the guys know that they're great, and we'll work that over the next few days and get back to work on Thursday.
What was last night like for you after you got those workouts?
It was epic. It was awesome. It was great.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
It was good. That was a good win. Well, yeah, it was super cool. I mean, it was awesome being able to share with the guys and having the families down on the field and everything. It was super cool.
What this year has been for you with one team forever, you feel like coming home with Washington State, now in the Super Bowl this year has been.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't really. I was asked about that same thing last night. I still don't really have words for it. It's just been such an incredible. It's been an incredible journey, and just to see the excitement around here, like being a part of this team, this organization, seeing the excitement that there is just around Seattle, how many people are just bought into it and all in on what we've created in this building and how it's permeated out, and it's really cool. It's really cool to be a part of, and looking forward to going out there in a couple weeks and the opportunity to seal the deal, and so yeah, it's been really cool.
What did that mean to you when Matthew Stafford came over? When you showed that clip, what he said to you afterwards?
Yeah, and that's awesome. And it's Matthew. I mean, just an unbelievable competitor, unbelievable football player. I mean, he's one of the best to play the position. And it's just what it is. It's really hard being on the sidelines watching him with the football. It's disheartening because you just know what he's capable of, and obviously just so much love for him as a friend. And so for him in that moment to be able to linger out there on the field and come find me, it means a lot. And it was a pretty cool moment.
Between him and Sam, how good was the quarterback play?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, what those guys were doing, the show those guys were putting on, it was incredible. And I mean, I thought just from the game, just overall, I mean, there was real good defensive play. There was really good offensive play. It was just, guys making plays all over the place, and really cool game to be a part of.
You've been part of enough of these games. Is there anything you do to remember them? You grab a handful of confetti. What's your custom?
I don't really. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it is in like the little, you have enough family and stuff taking photos and videos and share those around, and it's a fun thing to look back on. And but really, I mean, for me, it's just being in those moments. Being down there with Ann my boys. And my dad was able to come down and be on the field as well. And but to be able to celebrate with my wife and my boys was just a really special. It was a really special thing. And so it's things like that. It's the little moments throughout the game, the conversations, the little things that like, man, the detail of this small little thing that we got to share in together and make plays come alive. All those things they stick with you and make these kinds of moments pretty special.
Now that it's over, what it mean to come against the Rams?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, that was for the story to be what it was. Like, that had to be through the Rams to be able to get to where we wanted to go in the NFC Championship in that moment. The script writers did a great job with that one. I tell you what.
When you reached for the last first down, did you first realize that you have it? Did you fear a review or a challenge?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the cardinal sin. You don't do that on third down. But I felt good about. I felt good about where I was at, being able to hold the ball, and I also felt like, based on how my momentum was going, where the DB was, and how my body position was, the only chance I had was to try to reach that thing out. And I wasn't concerned about the ball. I knew the ball had, forced it out, or the ground had forced the ball out. So I wasn't concerned about that. But the spot, a little bit, I knew it was close. But yeah. No, I didn't even look. I didn't look. I thought it was. That's that thing that's tough with ball spot. I mean, it's hard in those reviews. There's got to be a pretty good, like, clear, significant difference with the refs, and I felt like it was super close, and so I wasn't too concerned about it. And if it was short, I don't know, but I have a feeling Mike's going for it there, and we're sneaking that thing across.
He said so this morning.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah.
You said it's Cardinals sin on third down to reach across.
Yeah, you never reach on third down. Because fourth down, end of game. If it's the last play of the game where it's fourth down, that's when you can reach. But on third down, it's because of that. Like, if it was close and you get tackled and you're short, you have an opportunity to go for it still. But you reach for it on third down, you fumble, that opportunity is gone now. You've eliminated the chance for anything on fourth down, and so that's why you don't do it on third. But it worked out. Process over results, so you don't do that. Don't do it.
I don't know if you thought it would take until the conference title game to get your first touchdown in that stadium this season, but it ultimately ends up being the winning points to send you back to the Super Bowl. Kind of what is that?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't even thought about that. But yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, it was a very cool, really cool thing to be a part of, and I don't know, there was a small part of me that knew that at the end of the game it was going to come down to, like, man, it's going to come down to me having to make a play in some way. I know it is. And so to be in that place and be able to have the opportunity to make that play, it meant a lot. It was a really cool thing to be a part of.
Your last Super Bowl was a home game. It was COVID. Can you reflect on that one, and maybe what are you looking forward to on this one? It's going to be more of a full-blown experience.
Yeah, but I mean, I did it in 2018. I wasn't playing in the game, but 2018 went to Atlanta for the Super Bowl trip, so I have a little bit of a feel for what the rhythm of that is. 2021, we did get to stay. We stayed in our facility. We practiced in our facility. We were able to sleep in our own beds and things like that. So a little bit different in that regard, but it'll be fun. It's going to be a new journey. It's going to be a new team. It's going to be a new experience, and excited about these next 2 weeks. It's going to be really fun.
Luka too. He talked about all you poured into him last night.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any conflict in your mind? Obviously, you want to beat the Rams, but just watching a guy that you've invested so much in become such a dominant player.
Yeah, I mean, he's had an unbelievable game. The year that he had was unreal, and that's just been. It's hard. Like, in those moments, it's hard because you're like, and a lot of those guys that were across the field last night, a lot of those guys are my best friends. Gonna be lifelong friends of mine. So there's always, it's a weird conflict, a weird thing to work through. but yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal player and did some unbelievable things this year and last night. So yeah, it was tough. It was great to see him. I mean, it was another guy that came up and was able to have a little word with him after the game, and so yeah.
Every first-time coach that goes through a Super Bowl seems to come back the next time with a lot of lessons about what they would do differently. For your experience, what have you learned that you maybe didn't know the first time you went to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things, but yeah, I think you just try to keep this. Everyone's gonna tell you that this game's different. I mean, everything about it is telling you that this is a different. For some reason, that this, week 21 game or whatever it is different than all the other ones. But it's not. The game's gonna start. It's gonna take a little bit longer to get there, but the game's gonna start. And when the game's going, it's the game. And I think keeping that and let that be kind of the theme for how you want to go about your process over the next 2 weeks is the way to do it. You don't need to reinvent anything. Just handle your process.
So how important is the routine of this week, making this a couple times? Because this week you kind of have to yourselves before you stand up with the following week.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a great balance, and I'm sure the coach are gonna have a great plan for us. But as much as there is gonna be media. There's gonna be media stuff. It's just part of the Super Bowl stuff, But that's whatever it is. I think it's an hour and a half obligation each day or something like that. It's an hour and a half of the day. As you take care of it, and then you get ready to play football. It's just a part of you're inserting it into part of your day. But around that stuff, you still gotta go out there and you just gotta be present, be where your feet are. When it's time to do the media thing, handle your business, protect the team, and then you're gonna move into football stuff and be where your feet are in that regard. Be ready to prepare to be a really good football team and go out there and compete for a world title.
Did you know Sam was coming to you all the way on the touchdown?
No, I think I'm third or fourth in the progression there. So Sam did a great job being able to get through it, clicking through it, and throwing a ball on my front pad when he's got someone in his face. And so I had no idea it was coming, but it all worked out.
When you decided to sign here, how far did you assess they were from the Super Bowl? What factor was that?
Yeah, actually, EJ texted me last night. He sent me the message that he had sent me originally when I'd reached out to him, and in his reply back to it, I was just asking about what it was like, what the team was like, and he said, he said we are on the cusp of competing for a Super Bowl, like we're right there, and he's like, he sent that to me, and he's like, I told you, we're right there, and that's what we're all striving for. You try to go out there and win a world title, and it's crazy because my wife and I have talked about the playoff picture in general. I mean, it was a lot of the teams that are in the playoff picture were teams that we had talked to in some capacity or been like, man, these were teams we thought maybe we would be with during that process, and really cool to be a part of this one and be able to build what this has become here, and yeah, it's just been an incredible blessing.
Speaking of Ernest, going back to his comments about Sam after the game down there, how much was that a kind of a galvanizing moment for you guys too? You haven't lost since then, for him to kind of back Sam after his toughest game and kind of have a rallying cry for you guys around him. What are you looking back on it?
Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things, I mean, Ernest has been a mouthpiece for the heartbeat of what this team is, and I think it's one of the best things he's done as a leader is be able to put words to how guys feel. And I think he spoke for everyone. It's like, hey, whatever happened out there, whatever the result was or whatever, we trust in Sam and what his process is and who he is as a player, who he is as a person, that's going to ultimately, that process and who he is, that's going to get us to where we want to go. And Ernest standing up on, at the podium and putting that to words, and that was the team. That's the team speaking, and it's been really cool to see how Sam. I mean, I don't think Sam didn't need that from us, but because I think he would have been the same guy regardless. He would have continued to come out and ball out for us and get us into the right stuff and command the huddle. And so, I think that was a really cool thing for Ernest, being able to do that, and the way that he stood up for Sam in that moment when a lot of people outside of the building maybe wanted to think differently about it.
For last night, Jack said from day one he was trust the process over results. He said that changed his life person, not as a player. Can you see how it impacted him this season and how it contributed to the year he had?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jax was a great football player before I got here. He was an unbelievable football player before I got here. So just start there. But I think one of the coolest things to see through this year, not saying it was anyone's hand in it except for just Jax being Jax, but his ability to stay present in the moment when teams are going to try to take him away. There's going to be times that he's on a dry spell, and again, there's points in the game where you're not getting the ball thrown your way, but his ability to stay in the process and just trust that, hey, this is going to be something. You just stay engaged, keep mentally in this thing, like the ball's going to come your way and you're going to make a huge play for us. That's just a small micro moment, in games, but through week by week, it's like, man, coming out here and being engaged in walkthroughs, being engaged in practice, ask questions, and it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be days that you're hurting and days that you're tired and mentally maybe you're not there, but to be able to continually come back and like, hey, own the mistakes, be accountable to those things, and when it comes time on Sunday, because you've been accountable and you've been consistent in those things, man, he shows up. He shows up on Sunday ready to go, and so that's been super cool to see, and yes, testament to the player that he is.
Your Super Bowl MVP trophy. First of all, where do you display that, and how often do you look at it? Who's the last time you looked at it?
I believe it's down in LA. So who knows? Yeah. Thank you guys.